from outside Liberia's capital, the pleasant good morning and welcome to Focus News Summary. 50 minutes of news presentation covering Liberia, Africa, and our warm world. My name is Lyndon Tobai, anchoring this segment of news presentation. In the headlines, President Joseph Boakai forms task force amid U.S. travel ban concern. Bone County Representative Mohamed Briggs Menza descends on President Boakai executive order, says it is affecting access to basic financial services. President Boakai defends his use of private jet for foreign travel, asserting that the decision is based on priority rather than waste. Prime suspect in the Capitol building arson case, John Yanti, taken to court, accuses government of inducement in the way from whom U.S. President Donald Trump demands action from 36 countries to avoid travel ban. These and many more are all packaged. When we come back, we bring you the news bulletin. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. President Joseph Boakai has established a high-level task force to address U.S. government concerns that could trigger potential travel restrictions on Liberia. It can be recalled that the Trump administration had issued an ultimatum instructing 36 countries to introduce stronger diplomatic action or raise visa restriction. Addressing the U.S. concern, President Boakai, as chair of the task force, has initiated efforts with ministry and agencies aimed at identifying challenges and devising actionable solutions. The task force is further tasked with the responsibility of creating swift diplomatic reform that aligns with the United States goals which seek to mitigate growing concerns of illegal migrants. President Boakai emphasized Liberia's commitment to good governance aimed at fostering shared diplomatic values. While it expressed confidence that the task force will yield the needed results. President Joseph Boakai, Representative Mohamed Briggs Mensa have criticized President Boakai's executive order, which demands the usage of national ID for the official transactions of business, asserting that it is stalling access to basic financial services. In a communication to House Plenary, Representative Mensa alarmed over the alleged persistent delay experienced by most people in obtaining the ID, something she described as embarrassing. In response, Plenary has summoned officials of the National Identification Registry. The move is aimed at providing a clear plan for improving service delivered in the issuance of the national identification cards to citizens across the country. They invite Bone County District 6 Representative Women Bree Mensa over reported delays in processing the card despite applicants completing full registration. President Joseph Boakai has strongly defended his use of private jet for foreign travel, asserting that the decision is based on fundamental rather than waste. President Boakai clarified that the usage of private jet for essential purposes does not amount to wasteful spending. In an interview with BBC Newsday, the chief Liberian executive argued that such choices are made in the interest of the country and do not contradict his administration's uncompromising stance against waste. The report from BBC asserted that President Boakai, who assumed office in 2024 after defeating incumbent George Weah, campaigned on a platform of transparency, accountability, and good governance. A key message during his campaign was a strong stance against corruption, which he accused the previous government of failing to curb. One of the prime suspects in the Capitol building arson case has been arrested and sent to prison. Suspect John Yanti, upon his arrest, was escorted by heavy security guards from the Liberia National Police to the court. Authorities confirmed that he has since been on the run after allegedly committing the crime. Yanti has been accused of as the key facilitator who allegedly received the money from Montserrat County District 16 Representative Dixon Sibo and had it distributed among his alleged co-conspirator. Meanwhile, in a brief interview with OKFM, John Yanti accused the Liberian government of trying to bribe him in order to testify in the overly hyped Capitol building fire incident. President Joseph Boakai has departed Liberia for Nigeria to attend the 2025 West Africa Economic Summit, focusing on regional trade and investment. He traveled via SK Airline on Thursday, June 19, and is expected to return Monday, June 23, following a key engagement and bilateral meetings. The summit gathers West African leaders, investors, and policies makers geared towards promoting economic growth, job creation, among others. President Boakai is expected to spotlight Liberia's investment opportunity and host strategic talks with heads of state and business leaders to strengthen partnership and attract development finance. The event promised by ECOWAS Chairperson Bola Tinubu includes a high-level discussion aimed at addressing peace, development, and economic integration. Former presidential candidate Alexander Cummings has weighed in on President Boakai's controversial use of private jets for foreign travel. His assertion comes barely a few hours following President Boakai's open defense on the usage of private jets. But in a Facebook post, Cummings expressed deep concern over the growing public frustration, emphasizing that the need for Boakai's administration to prioritize results over optics and perception. Cummings rejected President Boakai's defense, added that while private jets are necessary for expediency, it is unnecessary due to the current economic hardship faced by Liberians. He further emphasized that the growing frustration is valid due to the government performance, while urging Liberians to judge leadership by impact and not transportation choices. The Ministry of Education and the Liberian National Police have banned all street parades associated with school gala days across Liberia. According to a release, the joint initiative stemmed from growing concerns over student safety, public disturbance, and repeated violations of the ministry directive. The institution argued that the parade over the year have proven chaotic, leading to the injuries of minors and those threatening public order. The Ministry of Education and the Liberian National Police clarified that this ban does not extend to celebratory activities organized by school, highlighting the use of sport pages and other red venues, preventing traffic hazards or disorderly conduct. Citing Article 15 and Section 17.5 Penal Law of Liberia, the institution emphasized that the move coincides with the Liberia Education Reform Act of 2011. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education and the Liberian National Police has pledged to deploy officers to monitor and prevent street parades, warning that violators will be held accountable in accordance with the national law. This is a reminder that you are listening to the program Focus News Summary, 50 minutes of news presentation covering Liberia, Africa, and our one world. Let's bring you a quick look at our top stories. President Joseph Boakai former stifles amid U.S. travel ban concern. Bone County Representative Women Bree Mensa dissents on President Boakai's executive order, says it is affecting access to basic financial services. President Boakai defends his use of private jets for foreign travel, asserting that the decision is based on priority rather than waste. Prime suspect in the Capitol building Azam case, John Yanti, taken to court, accuses government of inducement and away from whom Trump administration demands action from 36 countries to avoid travel ban. Let's take a short break. When we return, we bring you a continuation of major development on our news program. Welcome back and thanks for joining us on this presentation. Civil Service Agency Executive Director Josiah Jokai has revealed that over 3,000 Indians nationals are currently employed by ArcelorMittal in roles that could be performed by qualified Liberians. Speaking at the Liberian Senate, Jokai linked the employment crisis to continuous hiring of foreigners in non-specialized roles by multinational companies operating in Liberia. His accession comes on the heels of ongoing investigation by the Liberian Senate surrounding the issuance of work permits to Liberians, to foreigners rather. The CSA Bowles has pledged his institutional commitment and cooperation with the Ministry of Labor in addressing influx of foreigners in the private sector, thereby creating a level playing field for all. In a related development, the Liberian Senate is expected to conduct a major employment audit at the ArcelorMittal mining facility. The move aims to ascertain the employment practices of the company, ensuring that it corresponds with Liberia's labor laws. The First Lady of Liberia, Katumu Bwaka, delivered a rousing speech at the Seven Merck Foundation Ladies Initiative Summit, stressing Liberia's healthcare, education, and gain. She highlighted that 50 Liberian doctors have received specialized training to make foundation scholarship advancing skills in fertility, oncology, diabetes management, and pediatric medicine. Madam Bwaka also underscored Liberia's success on the More Than a Mother campaign, emphasizing on combating infertility stigma, gender-based violence, child marriage, as well as promoting inclusive advocacy. The Liberian First Lady emphasized the impact of educating Linda program, an initiative that provides scholarship for marginalized girls through long-term empowerment, including the provision of learning tools. Madam Bwaka reaffirmed Liberia's commitment to transformative leadership in health equity, gender inclusion, and sustainable development across Africa and beyond. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we bring you a recap of major developments we have been following on our news presentation. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. President Joseph Boakai forms stifles amid U.S. travel ban concern. Bone County Representative Wayman Bree Mensah dissents on President Boakai's executive order, says it is affecting access to basic financial services. President Joseph Boakai defends his use of private jet for foreign travel, asserting that the decision is based on priority rather than waste. Prime suspect in the Capitol building arson case, John Yanti, taken to court, accuses government of inducement and away from whom Trump administration demands action from 36 countries to avoid travel ban. Let's bring you our international development before the conclusion of our news presentation. The Trump administration has given 36 countries, most of them in Africa, a Wednesday deadline to commit to improve victim traveler or face a ban on the citizen visiting the United States. A weekend diplomatic cable sent by the State Department instructed embassies and consulates in the 36 countries to gauge their host country willingness by Wednesday to improve their citizen travel documentation and take steps to address the status of their nationals while in the United States and legally. The cable, which was described to the Associated Press, asked the countries to take action to address the U.S. consent within 60 days or rates added to the current travel ban. Now to end this news, we recap major stories we have been following very closely on our news presentation. President Joseph Boakai formed typhoons amid U.S. travel ban concern. Bone County Representative Wayman Bree Mensah dissents on President Boakai's executive order, says it is affecting access to basic financial services. President Boakai defends use of private jets for foreign travel, asserting that the decision is based on priority rather than waste. Prime suspect in the Capitol building arson case, John Yanti, taken to court, accuses government of inducement in a way from whom Trump administration demands action from 36 countries to avoid travel ban. This is Spoken News Summary. My name is K. Lyndon Toba. Good morning.